Hi everyone, my name is Zernaab, and my research explores the modernization of mosque architecture in Pakistan and how this transformation influences the cultural and spiritual identity of Pakistani Muslims both locally and in Western contexts. My research aims to ask three central questions. How does the modernization of mosque architecture in Pakistan influences cultural and spiritual identity? What are key features that define a mosque? And how can traditional Islamic architectural values be preserved or reinterpreted in contemporary design? This research bridges architecture, culture, and sociology, exploring how design communicates Muslim identity within the changing global context. To provide further historical context, in Pakistan after the independence in 1947, architecture shifted towards modernism. Traditional domes and arches gave way to abstract Western-inspired forms that aimed to project progressiveness, but distracted architecture from its cultural roots. In Canada, especially post 9/11, mosque design became more discreet, often blending in for safety reasons as well as financial concerns. By comparing both contexts, my goal was to understand whether modernization is diminishing Islamic visibility rather than renewing it. I had used a comparative case study approach, analyzing 9 mosques, 6 in Pakistan and 3 in Canada, representing both traditional and modern styles. Data came from interviews, site observations, and historical research, focusing on 3 aspects of mosque design: the cultural expression, religious symbolism, and functional design. Through my research and interviews with Imam had revealed that recognizability is central to a mosque's identity. Imams repeatedly stated that when a mosque looks like an ordinary building, people get confused. While opinions differed on required elements, most agreed that visible markers like domes, minarets, and the mihrab preserved spiritual meaning and provided a sense of belonging within the built environment. From observations of case studies, my research had provided me results of identifying 4 main mosque typologies. There was the traditional mosque, which was historic forms emphasizing domes, arches, and ornamentation. The modern mosque, which is minimalistic structures often reducing symbolic features. The traditional continuity mosque, mosques that adapt traditional elements in new contexts like Canada. And the pragmatic mosque, a typology I personally identified from repurposed spaces such as offices or storefronts, prioritizing accessibility over symbolism. In Pakistan, modernization is often an aesthetic, reflecting a desire for global modernity. In Canada, modernization emerged out of necessity, with limited resources and social constraints, yet both result in reduced visibility of Islamic identity within urban spaces. However, currently Canadian communities are increasingly reclaiming visibility, adding domes and minarets to reaffirm belonging. As one interviewee noted, if the space helps the heart connect with its creator, it is fulfilling its purpose. This means that spirituality is not lost in modern or pragmatic context, but symbolic visibility of faith can fade without traditional cues. Resulting from my research and to support cultural preservation, I had proposed a digital heritage tool called Zawaro, a mobile app that digitally archives models of mosques. It allows users to virtually explore mosque architecture and understand its historical and cultural significance, bridging technology and tradition to educate both Muslims and non-Muslims. Ultimately, modern mosque design is not inherently negative. It is simply a new form of expression shaped by changing times. These forms may not carry the same traditional visual language that once defined cultural continuity. They continue to fulfill the mosque's core spiritual purpose. Yet, as the modernization spreads, the visual and cultural symbolisms that define mosques risk disappearing, especially in Pakistan. The challenge then is not to choose between tradition or modernity, but to find a balance, preserving heritage while embracing innovation. Mosques are more than prayer spaces. They are cultural anchors that shaped identity and communities within our cities. So, I leave you with this question. With the rise of pioneering architectural and construction technologies, what will happen to the cultural and architectural identities of our cities in the future? Thank you.